Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and I want to break down what I took away from being at practice today. I just got home. It was a long 2.5-hour drive through New York City to get back on Long Island, but we got a lot to break down. I'm sorry that this video is coming out later in the evening. I know you guys are probably wondering what the hell is going on at practice. Well, I'm here to break it down for you guys. The crazy thing that happened today, as you guys are well aware by now, is Corey Davis has decided to step away from the game of football, and I think that is definitely what I want to start talking about right now. I did upload my initial reaction on the channel when I was in the car from my phone, but I definitely want to talk about it just a little bit more because, this goes beyond football. The first thing that comes to my mind is hoping that Corey Davis and his family and his wife and his kids, everything is okay in the personal matter. Like, this is bigger than football types of things. Someone at 28 years old, walking away from the game of football, leaving that much money and $10 million on the table and just deciding, you know what? I don't really feel like playing this season. There has to be something going on. And it's not for our business to know what's going on. And my thoughts and my prayers goes out to Corey Davis and his wife and his family overall, because this is, shout out to Corey Davis, man. I think that he was a really good Jet for the 2 seasons here. I was excited to see what he can do this year with Aaron Rodgers. But that's the reality of life, man. Stuff like this happens. So now the big question is, okay, there's a little hole now on the wide receiver spot with Corey Davis moving on. And I think that Joe Douglas is already thinking of making moves. And we're going to break that down in this video. We're also going to go into some injury news and what I saw from Aaron Rodgers, what I saw from the defense, and what I took away from the most in this practice. But getting deeper into Corey Davis, man, I think that this is something that he's been very in tune with this team in terms of the team is not shocked, right? This is shocking to us fans and the fans in general and the media because we had no idea this was happening. But apparently the players in the organization knew that Corey Davis was leaning towards moving off of the game of football. He was transparent with them early on in OTAs, even that he was considering walking away. And they thought like, okay, well, we want you still on this team. You're a good veteran presence. And he decided the week before the final preseason game that he decides to walk away from the game. So again, hope everything's okay with Corey Davis. And now this is a business. So now the New York Jets got to turn the page. Who's next? Now we're talking about Jason Brownlee, Xavier Gibson. We're talking about Irvin Charles, Malik Taylor, all the wide receivers that we've been saying, oh, who's going to fight for that last wide receiver spot? Well, now there's 2 wide receiver spot opens, and we're going to talk about that later on in the video. Now, what happened at practice today? We had a positive injury news and some type of negative injury news. The positive, Dwayne Brown officially activated off the PUP list. He's back at practice. Didn't participate in team drills yet, but Dwayne Brown is back. He is on track to be the starting left tackle for the New York Jets on week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. Excellent sign. The unfortunate news, Allen Lazard left today with an injury. Now, according to Connor Hughes of SNY, it's nothing to be concerned about for the long term, but he definitely is dealing with an injury, and we don't know exactly what it is. Robert Saleh will speak with the media tomorrow to give us an update about Allen Lazard. And the unfortunate thing about that is the highlight of practice was Allen Lazard. It was a 2-minute drill. Aaron Rodgers and the starting offense had to drive the field on a 2-minute drill simulation, and Aaron Rodgers, bro, just simulated that thing and was just absolutely precise what you want to be. Quick, accurate, timing, getting the ball out fast, stopping the clock, going out of bounds, quick pass over the middle, quick pass to the sideline, spike the ball, and then on 3rd down, Aaron Rodgers rolls to his right, fires up an absolute dime to Allen Lazard over Sauce Gardner for the touchdown, and I think that might have been the play there where Allen Lazard got injured. I'm not too sure. Sauce Gardner was in coverage, and it was a jump ball, and Allen Lazard brought it in the back of the end zone, and I still don't understand how Aaron Rodgers was able to make this throw, but hey, that's Aaron Rodgers for you. He still blows me away to this moment because he's our quarterback, and the fact that he makes those throws just blows my freaking mind. But that's really the injury news of Allen Lazard. Don't know the extent of it, but the reality is it probably happened on that play, and that drive was just absolutely executed to perfection from Aaron Rodgers in that 2-minute drill. Now, getting deeper into what happened in practice from the offense, I think that the offensive line is coming together, folks. This was the best offensive line day I've seen since being at practice. Personally, as you guys know, I've been to every single open practice to the fans, and it was a little sad that today was the final day, but hey, good things have to come to an end. And the cool thing about this coming to an end is, hey, that means the season's right around the damn corner, so I'm not complaining. But the offensive line with Mekhi Becton at right tackle, AVT at right guard, McGovern at center, Tomlinson at left guard, that is the starting 4 offensive line. And now Billy Turner at left tackle, it's okay because we're going to get Dwayne Brown out there. But the overall offensive line today, man, they were protecting Aaron Rodgers. Pads were on, by the way, and I did not see a lot of pressure. There were some, but more often than not, the quarterback had time to throw the football. But the run game was more impressive to me with that offensive line. There was a play where it was a toss to Breece Hall on that right side, and Mekhi Becton literally destroys Jordan Whitehead, pancakes that man to the floor, and Breece Hall just escapes for a big gain. And that is exactly what Jets fans are excited about when it comes to seeing Mekhi Becton on that right side with Elijah Vera Tucker. We were excited when we drafted him, and then we draft AVT to have those two guys next to each other on the left side. Well, it's all right. We flip it around. It'll be the right side cornerstone of the offensive line for this season. And I thought that was really a big takeaway I have, is seeing this offensive line finally coming together, finally getting healthy. And speaking of the offensive line, Joe Tippmann, he was out there at practice warming up, doing individual drills. He wasn't participating in team drills, but it is a good sign that even though he does have a little knee injury, doesn't seem to be too serious because he was padded up. He was warming up with the team, doing individual stuff, and Robert Saleh said that he will be good to go by week number 1. So nothing to worry about with Joe Tippmann. Still looks like he is at practice, and they're just easing his way in. Looked like a little tweak of the knee. That's overall good stuff. Getting into the defensive side of the ball, Bryce Huff really impressed me today. He was beating Billy Turner pretty much every time he lined up against him. Zaire Barnes, the rookie linebacker, had a bunch of cool plays. Overall, the secondary was really good today. There's a lot of instances where Aaron Rodgers was looking to go deep, and he had to check it down underneath because Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Whitehead, Adams, all those guys were really clamping it up downfield. Now, the one thing I do want to mention about this practice, it was the first time being a game week style practice, a little different than usual because they do scout team stuff where the starting offense is going up against the backup defense, and the backup defense is just running a simulation so the offense can prepare for the opponent in this coming week, which is the Giants. They're simulating what it's going to be like in game week form in season. So a little different mold to what the practice is usually like at training camp, where it's just absolute competition going after each other. This time is a little more scripted and a little different because, hey, they're ramping up for the actual football season. So take some of these plays with a grain of salt. Now, talking about the wide receiver position, because I think this is going to be a very interesting topic with the news of Corey Davis moving on from the game of football. Now, we talked about it all training camp. Who's going to win that wide receiver 6 spot? Well, now there's 2 spots, wide receiver 5, wide receiver number 6. And I know that some Jets fans are immediately thinking, who can we go trade for? Who can we go sign? Well, Mike Evans has been someone that someone's talking about if you want to bring in a veteran presence. The pipe dream is Devontae Adams, but I'm not seeing that happening personally, at least until the deadline or maybe the next offseason if that reality does come to fruition. I don't know anything about the Mike Evans stuff. I don't know if that's even true to the point where the Buccaneers want to move on from him. I don't know. I feel like the Bucs would have to start really losing early on in the season and go tank mode for them to move on from Mike Evans, because I'm sure they want to keep Baker Mayfield and have a lot of weapons around him. But I'll tell you this, though. Joe Douglas, knowing what this season's all about with Aaron Rodgers, he's not sitting on his hands. He is picking up the phone, making some calls, and probably going to be aggressive to bring in another weapon here for Aaron Rodgers, especially with another opening here. But talking about the players that's on this team fighting for a roster spot, Xavier Gipson has been a really, really impressive player for me personally. He looks really good in the special teams unit, and even on the, like, playing with the ones, playing with the 2. Zach Wilson finds him a lot at training camp. He looks elusive. He looks quick in his routes, in and out of his breaks, and he brings that special teams presence. Jason Brownlee was that guy that kind of feels like another version of Corey Davis, just in terms of the body type. He kind of has that big body frame, tall, athletic. So maybe Jason Brownlee could be that man. Irv Charles is another version of Corey Davis, just in terms of the body type. So that's another player to look out for. Malik Taylor. So the Jets have depth at the receiver spot in terms of the guys fighting for roster spot. So I think this Saturday against the Giants is really going to separate who's making this roster, because we got the top 4 guys of Garrett Wilson, Lazard, Hardman, Randall Cobb, and the next 2 guys is going to be between Xavier Gipson, Brownlee, Charles, Jerome Cap, got to show the Eminem some love, and Malik Taylor. So going to be really cool to see how it all shakes out. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, guys. That's my thoughts of what I took away from the most at practice today. Not really a lot of stuff happened outside of what we already broke down on this video. You know, Breece Hall is looking pretty darn good, man. His knee is looking great. Dalvin Cook was not at practice today, and the offensive line's looking awesome. Aaron Rodgers on that 2-minute drill lobbed it up to Lazard. Let's hope his injury's all right. And Dwayne Brown's back at practice. It's only a matter of time until he's with the starting unit in the team drill. So hit that like button, guys, if you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. And as always, let's freaking go Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets.